How can special school prepare EBD pupils for a successful future? And what can mainstream learn from their experience? Cuckmere House on the East Sussex coast is a special school for pupils with severe emotional and behavioural difficulties. Stephen and Kyle are in Year 11. They've been here for 3 years. Both were excluded from previous schools.
I never went to any lessons. I used to swear at the teachers and that all the time.
I was quite bad. I was always getting in trouble.
We were a desk teacher.
Always getting restrained at school.
Punishments are a bit harsh, but they're fair.
I'll give you detention after school or at lunch. So it just makes you think I don't want to do that again.
Going to make your Sergeant Major proud.
Stephen and Kyle want to join the army after school.
Remember, it's mind over matter. I don't mind, you don't matter. Right.
Guy Crossland has been their tutor for 2 years.
I think the relationships that we develop with the children are very good, and they're built on a mutual respect, and I think this is important. They know the boundaries, they know the lines that they can't cross, and at the same time we'll show them the respect. And possibly in their previous school careers they will have had a time when they felt they were losing out from the system, that they weren't getting the respect. But having said that, you know, they have to earn it, and I think this is the constant theme that runs throughout the school, ranging from when they step out of the taxi in the morning, through lessons, through the break time, lunch times, and leaving school. You know, whatever privileges they get, whatever things they get from the tuck shop, trips, extra outdoor pursuits, is something they have to earn. And I think this gives them a solid grounding for later on in life.
The teachers here respect you. They treat you like an adult. Whereas at the other school, they treat you like children.
Treat you as adults. So give them a bit of respect, they give it back to you really. So it's quite enjoyable.
According to Ofsted, the school significantly enhances the life chances of its students. It creates a safe and secure environment. But life outside will be very different.
What we try to do in Year 11 is to put more pressure and responsibility back onto them. For 4 years previously, we would almost deal with anything they threw at us in a manner. In Year 11 I sort of changed that slightly. I expect them to take more responsibility for their actions, and the consequences become a little bit stiffer and a little bit swifter.
Would you think that if you left school with no exams, that would be a waste?
Yeah.
You would. And can you sort of say why you think that might be a waste?
It's wasting 16 years of my time.
So you would say that would be a waste. Right, Kyle, if you left, why?
Because at the end of the day, it's pointless, isn't it? Because I've worked so hard.
And you have worked hard, Kyle.
Yeah.
Right, Kyle, what did you get?
Year 11 are getting ready for the start of their GCSEs. Guy Crossland is also trying to get them to think about life choices.
Optimistic. You're 50, you look back, you haven't got any children. Would you think that's a bit of a waste? Would you want children?
Yeah.
And why is that? Is it because you feel that I could teach them things that I've learnt, that sort of stuff?
I want to make them learn from my mistakes.
Right. I think they're very much aware now of an environment outside of their own world. I think for some of them they've been maybe big fish in little ponds for a while, and when they're leaving now they've got to look around and they've got to think, well, I'm going to have to adjust a few things.
When I first started school I was always into drugs and what have you. I'm not anymore. Well, I wouldn't mind one every now and then, but I don't have it, I've got to control myself. So that's what gets me in trouble with the old bill.
We constantly try and reinforce the fact that people will not make allowances for you once you have left school, and that people will not see that you've come from possibly an abused or an underprivileged background. What they will see is the behaviour, and therefore they will not cut you any slack. And I think possibly some of them with their backgrounds have had to demand things, and to get something they've had to be abusive, whereas we've shown to them that, you know, this is not the case, and you will certainly get much further if you can get people to respect you and to understand you.
When I first started this school, I'd be swearing all the time. I'll be swearing right now. I couldn't even say a sentence without swearing. But now I can. It's unbelievable how much this school's done to me.
I want to talk about what it means now that you are officially the oldest pupils in the school.
Robin Thomas is tutor to Year 10. With Year 11 on study leave, he's already preparing his group for life beyond school.
Go through your week, go through your targets. I predominantly work with Key Stage 4 pastorally, and I find that the whole ethos of the school is based on reward, praise, and sometimes that reward and praise is quite artificial. It's important for the kids because their self-esteem is so low, but then you hit the flip side of the problem, which is when they get to leave school, that artificial praise and reward isn't there in real life. So I think it's a delicate operation to try and teach the kids that now their self-esteem has raised somewhat, that actually life is real. So yeah, I do tend to be as honest with them as possible, whether that's a good thing or a negative thing. They can take the criticism, but I always try and follow that up with a good thing as well. Mark, the basics again for you, isn't it? Again, a really, really good week. Not a major problem when you look at some of the other kids in the school, but I expect better from you. And to have 2 Fs and to trash your DT work was so out of character for you and a little bit upsetting. What was Monday all about? What was going on?
Didn't have my pills.
Well, if you don't take your medication and you know it's affecting you, you're nearly 16, yeah? How should you deal with that?
Tell someone.
Tell someone, and hopefully we can help you out. Thankfully, you've thought about it, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you've been pretty much spot on.
Make sure it's flat, and then what we're going to do is we're going to...
Everyone in Year 10 is expected to take GCSEs, but the approach to exam work is tailored to the needs of the pupils.
Roll it back. Nice it down.
At this school in Year 11, the students, when they get to like 15, 16, tend to lose quite a lot of focus. In Year 10, they're still quite focused and quite keen, and I've conditioned them a little bit to enjoy model making. So I've started the old GCSE thing at Christmas in Year 10, which gives us the opportunity to finish the models, and as some of them are very nearly finished, and we've still got 7 weeks left of this term before the end of the summer. So I've got the opportunity to use that time to really work on the folders, and then that gives us Year 11 to have a nice sort of improved skills in other areas, and it just means that the work that they do won't be sort of judged as a GCSE piece, because that'll already be in the bag. It's like they've got the marks already in the bag.
As well as high academic expectations, the school has a varied vocational curriculum. The Prince's Trust Excel Club helps develop practical skills.
It's basically getting them out of the classroom, getting them physically active, learning different skills that perhaps that will benefit them when they leave school. Phil is big and strong, and this is a way of him using his strength and getting something out of it. He's getting an achievement. They're all seeing something at the end of it, and it's theirs, and it's what they've done. And teamwork. They're having to work together. This is another main thing of the Prince's Trust Excel Club. It's working together as a group.
All their work is documented in individual portfolios, and each student achieves a bronze, silver or gold award.
They are nationally recognised qualifications, so all employers will be able to look through their portfolios. They'll be able to see what they've done because we've got photographic evidence as well. So they'll be able to look at that, see what they can actually do. So even though their literacy and numeracy skills might not be brilliant, they're still capable of working and holding down a normal job.
Students also get the chance to work outside the school environment.
It's really important to get work experience and to have external links with the local community. I think socially, I find is the most important reason. It's outside of school, they're dealing with the public, they're dealing with things they've not really dealt with throughout their life, and although they're supported by us and the support is always there, they need to be able to find that independence and to see if they can transfer the skills they've learnt here into the real world.
Cuckmere House have good links with local colleges and workplaces. Ex-student John was offered a full-time job after doing his work experience.
4 years ago, if you said I was going to be in full-time work and all that, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have laughed at you. But now, thanks to Kitmare House, I'm in full-time work and hopefully going to be there for a long time.
John was always a big lad. He was almost what you could say a classic EBD. He had anger management issues, massive anger management issues. John took on a GMVQ at the start of year 10 and a long-term work experience placement. I was really genuinely proud of John, and more so, I guess, for the fact that not only did he stick at that, but he also stuck at the things he wasn't good at. So he really worked at the literacy, he really worked at what exams he was entered for, and he walked away from here with just about everything that he could have achieved.
I thought Kitmare House was an excellent school for people like me who can't read and write to give us a better chance later on in life. After we leave school and so on, people like us can have a decent job, survive.
Year 11 begin their exams today. Kyle is taking 6 GCSEs. It's something his mother never expected a few years ago.
Never thought Kyle would take one exam. I thought Kyle would probably, it sounds really awful, but the way he was going, I thought Kyle would probably end up in and out of young institutes on the wrong side of the law. It very much was going that way. So to see him sit there and tell me all the exams he's taken and look forward to taking his exams, it's amazing. It's amazing that he's even taken one, let alone the amount he is, and I'm so proud of that fact. So proud that he and the school have managed to get him there. I think he's more focused on his future than he's ever been in his life before now. But I suppose it's the way it should be, the way I always wanted it, Carl, to grow up into a nice young man and get on with his life, and that's what we've achieved.
Where do you see your future now?
Going somewhere. Whereas before it weren't going nowhere.
For year 11, exams are over and it's almost time to move on. Kitmare House isn't always as successful as it'd like to be. Last year, out of 8 students, 1 became a father and left, 1 ended up in a young offenders institute, but 5 passed their GCSEs, 1 with 5 A to Cs, and went on to college, and the other is in full-time employment.
Bye.
Bye.
A majority of Key Stage 4 kids leave here with something. When you think of the baseline of where these kids have come from, if they weren't here or they weren't under this type of programme, then I feel they probably would have been lost somewhere along the way.
I feel that the key thing is to actually equip them with the necessary social skills and the confidence, and hopefully this will enable them to make the right career choices and also make the right life choices.
What I would hope when they leave us is that they're happy, that they're content, that they can go out into the workplace, and that they allow people to see the real them, that they feel confident enough to let their shield down, and that people that they're working with, whether that be in the army, at college, in work, can actually see the real them, because a lot of the pupils have turned into really nice, responsible young men.